Just two brief points, Minister, I want to raise with you. One is in terms of the drawdown of the Rural Regeneration Fund. And look, I think it is a fund that is now ramping up and will, I believe, transform rural Ireland. And I know the focus is on local authorities here today and the delivery of it. And as you know, my own local authority in Roscommon is one of the counties that has been quite successful in securing funding and is drawing down the funding. But just to give you a practical example of some of the challenges that are happening on the ground. So Roscommon County Council sought and secured funding from your department for a project in Monksland that requires acquiring land that the council owns and has given a licence out to, which subsequently fell under the control of NAMA. And they can't get a decision out of NAMA to actually proceed with the project. Now, where you have one arm of the state that has funding under the capital funding to draw down, and you have another arm of the state dragging its heels and making a decision, that's unsustainable and shouldn't be happening. And priority should be given by organisations like NAMA to requests like that where there is capital drawdowns involved. Just the final point I want to raise with you, Minister, and I discussed this with you on the way into the meeting this morning, and that is in relation to the leader funding in County Galway. As you know, it received an allocation of €9 million for the next 5 years, which is at the lower end of the per capita payment of allocations around the country. And a lot of people in County Galway are asking, you know, why have they been left short in relation to the allocation compared to other counties? And we've seen in County Roscommon the transformative impact that Leader has had in our county, and it is in contrast to the impact it's having in Galway because of the level of funding that's available there. And just very finally, and this is an issue that the committee has considered and has made recommendations to you on it, and that is that the committee has recommended that there would be a specific leader programme for the island communities that would be administered separately rather than being done on a county basis. So if you could comment on those two issues. Thank you.
Thank you, Cahirlock. And just you mentioned the Monksland project there. I've actually been to visit that project, and it'll be transformative in that area in terms of remote working and facilities, etc. I don't know. I can't say why the NAMA haven't given a decision. I don't want to see these things being held up. That's the truth, because the money's there. Get it spent. Get on with it. And if we can help in our department with that, moving that on, we're happy to do that. Yeah, we're happy to do that and see. But again, we'll see what we can do in terms with the relevant Minister for Finance. I think has responsibility for NAMA. Now, the leader funding issue here has been brought up with me, but I just want to sort of maybe put this on the record. The funding allocations for 2023 to 2020 to 2037. 2027. What's that? Yeah, the funding allocations, when taken together with the allocations under the 2021 to 2022 transition programme, show that all leader areas have an increased allocation of core programme funding compared to the core programme funding allocated for the corresponding 7-year period 2014 to 2020. So we had the transitional money of €80 million, and now up to 2027, there's another 70 million was the transitional funding of 180 million, so that brings it up to 250 million. But we have distributed in such a way that everybody has got an increase. Just to say that the sub-regional area of County Galway has been allocated 9 million for the 2023 to 2027 period, and when taken in conjunction with the transitional funding that Galway has got of 3.6 million, that gives a total leader allocation of 12.6 million for the period 2021 to 2027, and for the corresponding previous programme from 2014 to 2020, they had a core programme of 12.2 million, so it's gone up by approximately 437, so that's an increase of 3.55%. Funding levels are based on a minimum allocation of €3 million to each sub-regional area, with the remaining funding distributed based on population and level of deprivation in the area. This ensures that funding is targeted at the areas most in need of leader support. So, to be fair, it's a very transparent system, and that's the way that we have allocated. And every leader company has got an increase. Just in relation to the offshore islands, certain stakeholder groups have expressed a preference that the new leader would include a dedicated lag for island communities. And can I just say that a dedicated island lag